listening to the Becoming More Me podcast with me, Theresa Lear Levine. You're already enough. But if you're anything like me, you thrive when you're stretching and developing yourself, creating more of the person you feel called to be. This podcast is here to inspire and support you. Let's release the negative, reinforce the positive, and elevate our vibe together as we tap into our limitless potential to transform and grow. Hello and welcome back. This particular podcast is one where I am going to let you in to my sacred morning space, which is not normally time that I reserve for recording or working on podcasts because it's pretty structured for me and it's an ever-changing routine that I really, really have come to love. And I've also come to realize that while amongst the people that I now interact the most with, it's pretty common. A lot of people I come in contact with think it's really unusual that I wake up as early as I do and do the things that I do before my kids wake up in the morning. So I wanted to expand on that. I wanted to find out what you all find important with your mornings, what your routine looks like, or, if this is just nuts. So I hope you enjoyed the 3-part series that just finished up on here about unlocking your emotions so that you can unblock success in your business. That was a lot of fun to do and put a lot of heart and soul into it. If you haven't listened to it yet and you are a female entrepreneur, a consultant, a coach, or someone who is in the business of service providing, then I highly recommend taking a listen, grabbing the accompanying worksheets. It's very action-packed. I really believe at the heart of everything that knowledge is not meant to be the end, and that the things that we learn and the knowledge that we acquire and assimilate over the years is best when it can inspire action and help us make decisions. And that's when it really, really serves us the most, instead of just being something that we know bouncing around in our head that isn't doing anything to further our growth or the things that we're interested in or what have you. So today, like I said, I'm definitely interested in chatting with you about my mornings and your mornings and finding out what makes mornings so amazing. Because I know that a number of years ago, before I had kids, I would, weekends were for sleeping in and figuring things out once you woke up, whether that was at 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. And I didn't worry a whole lot about anything particular getting done. Weekends were, hanging out with friends and partying and maybe doing a little bit of straightening of the house or some projects or whatever, but pretty much taking it easy. And then, responsibility and other things kick in as you have kids. I know that when I had my first, I relished sleep whenever I could get it. And often my day would start when he wanted to be up for the day and was no longer sleeping or, hopping in bed with me and going back to sleep for a little bit or what have you. And that felt so weird to have days that were starting then, potentially at, 6 or 7 in the morning. Felt very strange to me. And I felt like maybe I should start drinking coffee. I never was a coffee drinker. And I dabbled with it a little bit when I had my first, and I am a coffee drinker. I love coffee, in fact, but it is not something that I drink every day. I normally have something caffeinated. I'm a big fan of pre-workout, and I love caffeinated seltzer waters, and I love tea, and I'm trying to think what else I love with caffeine in it. That's the majority of it. And I probably drink coffee once or twice a week. And it's typically iced coffee, black. I'm not a big hot beverage person, but I digress. So I started to, dabble with, what's going to make me feel like I have more energy. And back then I didn't have any particular workout routine. Before I had my first child, my weight was always, pretty awesome and easy to maintain no matter what I ate, that lovely metabolism of being young. And bouncing back from that, taught me a lot. And then as I had more kids, I realized, the days just got busier and busier. And then, to begin dabbling in my own businesses and things on top of that, it really became important to carve out time that I could semi depend on. I mean, if you have kids, that even if they normally sleep until a certain time of the morning, there are those days when they have a nightmare or their arm falls asleep and they wake up, 2 hours early because they have pins and needles and they don't go back to sleep, or they're sick, or who knows, kids are unpredictable. And while you can mostly depend and lean into certain things about routine, if you have routine, then there's always those times when they're going to throw you for a loop, and that's okay. Just being a human has taught me that change is the only constant, and I am the only thing I can control. So I have to learn to adapt to whatever gets thrown my way. And being an entrepreneur definitely doubles down on all of that and really makes you lean into it and roll with all the little waves and punches and dips and mountains and whatever comes at you. But it gets addictive too. So my mornings became the time that I could control, because I would often, years ago, I would often lean into evenings, when my husband was home and I knew I could get some work done or get some things done. But that never felt good or in alignment, because then it was always missing out on evening and being together. And more than that, it's scientifically proven that our willpower wanes throughout the day. So we have the best willpower and energy to get things done first thing in the morning. But if we don't line things up right, and the kids wake up, or our work day or whatever obligations we have for the day start before we can do the things that serve us and make us better and allow us to do great things, then that the willpower to do it later is often not as good. People mostly, with workouts, people have the most success that do them first thing in the morning with sticking with it versus the afternoon, because sometimes our energy is low and we just don't feel like it. Or as my life tends to show me all the time, things come up. All of a sudden you have, uh, a pet that gets hurt and needs to go to the emergency vet, or an appointment that you forgot about, or something that gets scheduled, or a friend that wants to stop by, or an errand that you suddenly need to run. Things come up, a phone call, who knows? And life is unpredictable. But in those early morning hours, before the world is awake, you have a lot of control there. And you don't feel pressured to get into your email inbox or to respond to other people and their urgency culture needs and all of that stuff that can start stressing us out, overwhelming us, and taking us away from our priorities as the day wears on. So in the evening, we're much less likely to stick to our nutrition, to do our workouts, to get projects done, to complete things. We physically run out of energy, and we mentally run out of it too. And people stray from a lot of things in the later hours of the day that they would never dream of not doing or doing earlier in the day. So it's really important to be vigilant of that later in the day if you do have things that you need to stick to and be on top of. So I definitely like to leverage the morning hours. I usually wake up or set an alarm in the 4 a.m. hour somewhere. 4:15, 4:30, 4:44 is a favorite. I'm a big fan, if you don't know already, of repeating numbers and their signs and significance. I look for them throughout the day. And more times than not, my eyes land on the clock when it's 111, 222, 333, all that kind of stuff. I have a habit of screenshotting it on my phone whenever I see repeating numbers in bank accounts, on the codes that come in for two-factor authorization on the, throughout the day when you're logging into things, all the different ways that the repeating numbers show up. When I just happen to look to the side when I'm driving and the address that I see is 1111, it pops up everywhere for me. And that's a whole other topic for a whole other episode. But when you request signs and guidance from the universe, it comes to you and it'll show up for you in just the right places and just the right ways. And it's pretty amazing. We'll go into that another time. So the 4 o'clock hour is normally when I naturally wake up, or if I happen to be in a deep sleep for some reason, my alarm goes off. But more times than not, I wake up before my alarm, and I either get out of bed right away. I learned to do that from Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule long ago. And if I don't normally go back to sleep per se, but I will do like a guided meditation, or I have a great series of binaural beat meditations that I love to do, or I will do a hypnosis track to work through different blocks that I have or things that I'm working on related to relationships, money, success, fears, all that kind of stuff, so that I can clear that before the day starts. And that's just something other than EFT that I like to do to work on myself. I have a lot of personal development things that I like to do. So if I wake up, and a lot of times I'll wake up earlier, like I'll wake up in the 3 a.m. hour and I'll just start doing that, because usually my guided meditations are about 10 minutes. My binaural beat meditations are about 20 to 25 minutes. And the hypnosis tracks are right in that same range, like 18 to 25 minutes. So it's easily about an hour if I do all three of those things. Normally I just do one or two, and find myself getting out of bed around 5. And at that point, I usually, right now, I got my workout clothes on. If I am planning on working out first thing, which I normally do, because like I said, that's when I have the most success with sticking to it and the most certainty. But morning hours are also the most certain for getting projects and things done for my businesses and getting into the flow with work. So sometimes I have to weigh, like, okay, would it be better to just wait and work out with the kids when they wake up? My younger ones don't mind that, and they actually enjoy it. They like to work the camera and make videos and hop on their sit and spins and run around the basement while I work out, and that's great. And when they're in the mood to do that, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. I get to model physical fitness for them. They get to do it with me. It's healthy, it's fun, and it's time that we get to spend together. But it's not a given. So particularly when I'm in the midst of doing an actual workout program where specific workouts are required on specific days in order to get the results that I'm going for, I'm going to be a lot more diligent about making sure I get it in first thing, versus when I'm just kind of dabbling and doing something to stay active and increase my physical fitness. And I'm more willing to do it with the kids. So, I get my workout clothes on, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, I do the things. And then I head downstairs. I'm usually listening to an audiobook all that time, or training if I need to do something for my business and it's something that I'm passionate about. I won't do like boring crap in the morning. It's all about what's going to raise my vibe and what I'm feeling passionate about at the time. And oftentimes it's an audiobook. I'm huge into self-development, self-help audiobooks, and also nonfiction type stuff. Every now and then I love a good fiction story though too, but my morning is usually audiobooks, and I'm listening to them, or podcasts, when I'm, brushing my teeth and washing my face and pulling my hair back or whatever and getting dressed. And then I head down to the kitchen. And some mornings, my husband gets up with me before he goes to work, or on weekends, and we work out together. Other mornings, it's just me. And that's when I kind of get all my supplements ready. I am a supplement junkie, and that is also something that we can go into deeper on another episode. But I have different supplements that I take in the morning, and things that I do to get ready for my workout, and things that I use during my workout, and things that I use after my workout. I do a lot to fuel my body well and to take care of myself. I'm huge into self-care, and I'll be the first to admit it. They always have those quizzes and things about, if you're high maintenance or whatever. And I rarely put makeup on. I don't care a whole lot about my hair. I'm not high maintenance with like the clothes and the upkeep and the nails and I have not had a professional mani-pedi since before the pandemic started. And that's crazy for me to say and admit, because I was usually like maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, I'd get a mani-pedi. And to not have had one, I feel like I need to go somewhere where they can like really do an amazing job. So if any of you like live in my area and know somewhere where they can I feel like I need like more than just a basic mani-pedi at this point. There's work to do. And I do my own. So, it's not like I've been completely neglected. I have great products and tools and things, and I've been taking care of my nails, but I feel like it's not the same. Anyway, but my self-care as far as supplements and skincare and self-care, massages and just basically like I take very good care of my body. And that's where I'm high maintenance. And it's really important to me to be doing things that boost and feed my health and my just physical health and growth. And, I don't really care if I have the best mascara or the hottest color of nail polish or the newest outfits or the most on trend shoes. I hate shoes, honestly. I if they're not comfortable. I mean, I love shoes, but I my feet get very uncomfortable in shoes that are not comfortable. So I like comfortable shoes, and I am willing to shop and spend money on comfortable shoes. That's like totally a worthwhile investment for me too. But anyway, I'm not high maintenance in like the standard high maintenance ways that people think about it. And so we do the supplements, and then I normally head down to the basement, which is where my home gym is, and press play on a workout. And most of my workouts average 30 minutes. So at that point, I'm already into my morning by a couple of hours if I've done hypnosis and meditation and all the other things. And then after my workout, like I said, I have some after workout supplements that I do, and then I cool down. And if need be, I go like rinse off and take a shower and get changed into other clothes if I'm going to be seeing clients on Zoom or just kind of getting ready for the day in that way. Sometimes like today, I'm still here in my workout clothes right now. Just got my workout done about a half an hour ago and decided that this morning it was going to be a podcast morning. But most mornings, that is when I hop into work. And I feel like any good morning is set up the night before, because when you just wake up and you have no idea like where the day is going and what you're going to be doing, it's so hard to get a running start because you're just fumbling like, oh, what's important? What did I forget? What do I need to do? What didn't get done yesterday? But at the end of each day, I try to put together a prioritized list that has, I'm like looking at mine right now, has the things that I need to focus on in the morning. Because you know what? I have ADHD. I'm a total squirrel brain. And when in the morning, that's when I tend to have the best focus. And I can look at that list and also that willpower, situation and tackle things that are harder to tackle at other points during the day. But I have to have it set up that way. Otherwise, I go to the easy and the fun things, or I dilly-dally and I waste the time. And I tell you what, nothing gets me as frustrated as my kids waking up in the morning and me feeling like I did not use, prioritize, and value that precious time I had before they did, because once they wake up, like I want to be enjoying them and spending time together and, not feeling like I'm still a slave to being, in my office or doing things. Now, I love my work. If anything, I have, more of a fear of like, I'm sometimes afraid to work less obsessively because I enjoy my work so much. And that's actually something that I use EFT and tap on, and something that I encounter a lot with other female entrepreneurs that I work with. We're often afraid to be less obsessive about our work. And it's normally a cover up for something else. And, that's okay. And I'm very aware and I realize that. So it's something that I'm always trying to peel the layers back on. But I don't want to be obsessive, even though I love what I do. I was talking to somebody the other day, I think it was my massage therapist, and I was saying how, so often as a kid, or even my kids now, be like, oh, how long until this? And it feels like they're kind of like time is going so slow for them and they're wanting to speed it up. We're headed off on summer vacation soon, and we're going to Cedar Point in Ohio. And they're so excited about all the roller coasters. They've been watching, all the YouTube videos to get ready and see what awaits and everything else. And they're so excited and they're counting down, how many days, how many weeks, whatever. And I can tell they just want it to be here. And like, it would be fine with them if the time between now and then was just sacrificed in order for them to get there. And I feel exactly the opposite. I feel like my days go by way too fast. I love pretty much every part of them. I mean, I love being a mom. I love the businesses that I run. I love the creative projects that I get to do. I don't even mind house cleaning and organization, if I'm being honest. And the yard work, like I don't mind any of the things I get to do. So I'm not trying to speed them up and make them go away faster. Anything, I want them to stick around more. And I want to be able to enjoy each part of my day because I really do love my life and cherish all the different aspects of it and the things that I get to do. So it's very important to me to make the most of those morning hours. So it's when I, as they say, eat the frog. And I think that was actually a book. Was that a book? I gotta look it up now, but I'm not gonna look it up now. Well, maybe I am. That was good. There's a lot of good personal and self-development books that can help you maximize your morning, and a lot that I recommend. I swear it is. I'm not going to look it up now, but I think it's called Eat That Frog. It was a good self-development book about prioritizing the things that are kind of hardest to do, the things that maybe you have based, um, some fear around, and getting them done first, and how that really just sets you up for success and makes such an impact on your success and your day and everything else. And other great books for morning personal development. Hal Elrod has the whole Miracle Morning series. And I say series because there was the Miracle Morning, and then there's like the Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs. There's the Miracle Morning. What does he have? Miracle Morning, the millionaire one. There's all different like specialized versions of the Miracle Morning. So there's probably something that applies to you out there. Robin Sharma has the 5 a.m. Club, which when I first started listening to that one, I do everything on audio when I can. I thought it was like kind of cheesy and weird. It is a little cheesy and weird, but it also like has really valid, awesome points in it. And by the time I was like a quarter of the way into it, I really valued the creativity of the way that he intertwined the story with the practicality of what was being taught. So it was fun. I definitely recommend it. And there's a lot of good, goal setting books that you can put into use during your mornings. So, like the 12-week year and things like that, where once you kind of set those goals using the practices that the books teach, then you use that morning time to carry them out. And it's pretty much that simple. But there's so many good ways to make good use of your morning. But for me, I feel like that is my time where it is necessary to raise my vibe, clear any energetic blocks that I have, enhance my physical fitness, get my brain like real turned on, and crank out some awesome work that advances my business or serves my clients or helps somebody else. That's my time for all of those things. And to just get centered and clear, connected with my inner guidance, and set the day up right. And it makes such a huge difference. So normally I have a minimum of 2 hours in the morning that is kind of that time for me, and sometimes up to 4. And it is such valuable time for me. So I would love to hear what your morning practices are, or if you think I'm crazy for getting up that early or doing all that in the morning. um, it definitely is something that is ever changing. A year ago, I wasn't doing the hypnosis stuff in the morning. I I've always been flexible about my morning routine allowing for change, and also realizing that it is a limited period of time and some things need to get done. So sometimes other things need to give way. So sometimes, for instance, my meditation will get pushed to the afternoon. And if I know I'll have, 20 or 30 minutes to just go sit or lay down and meditate, just push it to there. I love, love, love a good afternoon meditation nap, as I like to call it, or doing my hypnosis then. And that's awesome. But not every day allows for that. Most of my days do. And I love that. I love that I have that flexibility in there to just kind of lay down and recharge and center myself in the middle of my day. And honestly, even if I can do it in the morning, if I can do it in the afternoon too, even better. And like I said, sometimes I'll push the workout to after the kids wake up if I need to do that. But all of that ends up getting determined typically the night before when I'm planning the morning. Or if for some reason, it's very rare, but if for some reason I felt tired in the morning and I valued an extra sleep cycle or period of sleep, then I would have to rearrange some things after the fact in order to make up for that last minute decision. So, like I said, it's very much just kind of roll with it, adjust, and make the most of it. But for anybody that, is currently, waking up with just enough time to get ready and get out the door for work or begin your day with the kids or whatever it is that you do, and you want to change, it doesn't have to be something where you start waking up hours and hours earlier in order to make that change. You can, back up the time that you wake up by as little as, 5 minutes and, get up and do some jumping jacks to get your heart pumping, do a 1 or 2 minute meditation or just some deep breathing, maybe read a passage from personal development or some kind of a spiritual reading or something that makes you feel grounded, and begin your day. And you'll still find a great difference and improvement in just taking those few minutes to kind of get right with yourself and get your brain pumping and your heart rate turned up for a minute. And it makes a big difference in what happens next. And setting yourself up right for what's going to happen next in your life is awesome. So I encourage you, if you don't already have a morning routine that does that, to create one. And if you don't have a structured schedule for your day, then you can probably just wake up at the same time you normally do and just throw something in that, helps you to become more educated on something that you're passionate about, or to more personally develop, or to work on an issue that you feel like you're working through, or to connect with the universe or God or whatever it is that you believe in, and really elevate your vibe and clear your energy and make your day so much more amazing because of it. I welcome you to please share in the comments things that you love about your morning routine, or things that you can't imagine not doing, or things that have really changed and improved your day because you started doing them. I would love to hear them, because there's so many options. Having an incredible morning can happen in so many ways. I just encourage you to find a way to do it each day and stick with at least that. You don't have to do the same thing every day, but find something each morning that elevates you and raises your vibe and makes you feel positive and productive and fulfilled, because the rest of your day will thank you for it. And the people that you come in contact will thank you for it as well. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much for listening. If you loved this episode, please share it with a friend or post on social media and tag me so I can personally connect and thank you. Until next time, keep taking bold and brave action steps towards becoming more of who you want to be in this world. You are capable, you are worthy, and you are enough. Keep shining your light.